For everybody to get a better understanding of who I am and why I'm up here in front of you guys speaking to you, probably should start off with my childhood. Around 4th grade, my parents sent me to Catholic school, and shortly after that, I became the school's main source of free labor. It wasn't actually because of my goodwill. It was because I couldn't stay out of trouble. So that was their way of dealing with my bad behavior, was forcing me to pick weeds, sweep the floors, clean bathrooms. My sister actually went to the same school. She was an older sister of mine. She was a straight A student, never got in trouble. So when I would go into classes, the teachers would have the expectation that I was going to be similar to her, and quickly after that they would find out that I wasn't. I actually remember a parent-teacher conference that I was lucky enough to sit in on with my parents and a 7th grade teacher, and she couldn't understand how they did such a great job on her and had done so horrible with me. So with that being said, probably not a big surprise, I had horrible grades. Actually, my parents thought that maybe I had a learning disability or something, so they took me to a psychologist and made me go for 2 to 3 days for an evaluation, an IQ test. They found out that there was nothing wrong with my intelligence, and their professional diagnosis at the time was that I was lazy. So my dad was not very happy about that, being that he spent so much money and time taking me there and back to find out that it was just that I was lazy. Right around the same time, the Catholic school actually requested that I don't come back. So I was off to public school, which I always did well making friends with people, so I was really excited about it. And within the first couple of years, somehow I ended up hanging out and associating and aligning myself with the bad crowd. But when I got there, not only did I discover that the Catholic school had not only made me a cleaning machine, but I also could skate by for the first few years without studying much. So it gave me more time to do what I'd been doing and continue to get in trouble. By 11th grade, it seemed that in my childhood I was destined to be a janitor, because once again, I was doing what they considered community service hours, and I actually ended up becoming good friends with the head janitor. I was doing this so often. He also was a boxing coach, or the trainer on the side, so he started training me for a little while, which helped out because I elected to take a summer job as a lifeguard in the Robles Park housing projects. So the boxing kind of helped me out through some trouble that I'd gotten into there. So as you can see, my early years didn't go so well as far as schooling was concerned. In fact, I barely got through high school, but that didn't stop me. I decided that it was off to college. And I was one of the best members of my fraternity. Never missed a party. Was at every single one. It's about the exact opposite with classes, though. So, to give you an idea, I was in college for about 5 years. I attempted enough hours that I should have had an MBA long before that, and actually didn't even end up with an AA. This was night and day, though, from the household that I grew up in. My father is a very successful engineer, and actually I would say the majority of the education that I received was indirectly due to his travels. He designs fueling systems, and from me getting in trouble. When I would get in trouble, my mom would make me go on trips with him. So to give you an idea of how much trouble I was in, by the age of 18, I'd been all through the U.S., Central America, South America, most of Europe, and Asia. So I wasn't doing too good there, and I grew up not wanting for much, so I had to figure out something that I was going to do to be able to keep myself in that lifestyle. I got a job, and I discovered that I was a pretty good salesperson. Shortly after that, I found out what I was supposed to do, was selling mortgages. I did that for a little while, and by 25, I was making 6 figures a year and still viewed myself as a failure from my past endeavors. A few years after that, the housing market hit, and that really hit me hard. I still continued my work ethic of not really working too hard and just skating by, and ended up getting fired 2010 in January. And that was the last time that I ever accepted failure. So I think it's really ironic that tonight's topic is self-improvement, because I was going to talk about that anyway. Anthony Robbins says that your life can change in an instant. The instant that you decide to make a new decision, to make different choices. My instant came shortly after being fired in January of 2010. I began what I call my journey of excellence. And I do say journey because it's not a destination. Every day I strive to improve something about myself and continue to do that. 2 years after being fired, I opened my own mortgage company and a marketing company. I also had read something from Brian Tracy. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he says that bad habits are easy to start and hard to live with. Good habits are hard to start and easy to live with. I changed a lot of my habits, and that's part of the reason I'm right here talking to you guys now. This is something that is not comfortable for me, but I'm going to do it again and hopefully learn a new habit.